Welcome in. This is going to be game one. Dobbs versus Wean Dinchester here in the Wallhalla Silver League semifinals. We're starting out here on Bastion, which, if you recall, you start with this castle in the back. Also, quite a few farms around your TC, so your eco gets going quite quickly. This is also regicide, so both players have kings, but actually queens running around the map, and there is also this monument that generates, I think, 2 relics worth of gold if you can capture it. Something like that. It is somewhat guarded, though, so you do have to actually make military before being able to take that. So we've got Wean Dinchester here playing as the Vietnamese, up against Dobbs with the Mongols. Okay. Interesting Civ matchup, right? Mongols partially feels good here because you can just immediately go into the Mangadai if you... Usually it's an FC from both players on this map, from what I've seen. So you can get to Mangadai pretty quickly, but Rat Archers are one of the few units that can feel good against Mangadai, especially before all the upgrades come in, but even afterwards, they do okay, I think. So, I don't mind Vietnamese here. Also, you're usually a little late to the extra TCs, depending on how you want to play it. So, Vietnamese, really strong 1 TC eco if you need to play it out that way. They have a good eco, even if you go multiple TCs, so no big issues. Dobbs is going to wall himself up rather early. Dinchester kind of thinking about the same thing, but he's not too worried. I guess he's walled, at least on the left-hand side. And we'll see where this one takes us. You do have to be a little careful. Depending on how fast your opponent goes up to the feudal age, you can get caught out with your queen. You don't want to be too far from home too late in the match. And like I said, your eco is really strong really early on this map, so you can surprise your opponent. But it looks like both players are just going to go fast castle. Dobbs will eventually finish his walls here. Dobbs has looked really good on this map. He has won, I think he's played this both series we've seen from Dobbs, and I believe he won both. Feels like Dobbs is really good, or has been really good so far in this tournament, on these sort of central push maps, where basically all it comes down to is one player is trying to push early into the other player in either Castle Age or Imp. Dobbs has been really good at holding defensively until just the right moment when he can actually roll out with everything he's gathered up. But we'll see if he wants to take the fight to Dinchester here. Dinchester's queen is also rather far forward, but still a minute and a half away for Dobbs from the feudal age, so probably is fine. Only 35 seconds away from Dinchester, who should be able to just pull off the FC, so a nice clean build from him. Okay, Scout taking a little bit of fire from these neutral mobs. Not a big deal, though. You start with the castle, so you can always pull your Scout back and heal them up if you feel the need to. Feudal Age hits for Dinchester. And he goes Market, he goes Blacksmith in the back, and he's got the res for Castle Age already. So really nice, clean build for Dinchester. Dobbs loses a villager to the opening scout. Is going to go Market Blacksmith as well. But he's going to be up a little bit later. I think he probably went up no loom. Yeah, he did. I think both players probably did. So that's the risk you take. You feel safe. He had these big walls mostly up, but he deleted some of them, or didn't build some of them, rather, so he could fit the market in the blacksmith. And Dinchester did a great job of sniping that Ville. Fletching on the way now for Dinchester, so probably just going to be Rattens opening for him. Having to reseed those farms. The food eco is not going to be great for Dinchester. He can't really afford to reseed all those farms, so he's only going to have 4. Not ideal, but I guess you only need so much food if you're going into Rattens. Copium. Castle Age on the way for Dobbs, who also gets fletching. Oh, he was thinking about fletching. He actually cancels fletching in order to get what? I don't know. There's no second military building for Dobbs. So it feels like he has to be going Mangadai. Okay, he does get fletching now. Just wanted to sneak gold mining in there first, I suppose. Castle Age hits for Dinchester, and the Rattens will start to come out. He does have enough food for Bodkin. And where else is he taking food from? Because he has 9. Oh, he still has a little bit of berries left. Okay. Alright. So the food eco isn't quite as bad as it looked, at least. He can at least keep producing villagers here for a little bit longer. He is going to have to invest in something, but he's almost got enough wood for the second TC. I love a second TC out here somewhere. But he might just put it on the inside somewhere for defensive purposes. We'll see. Rattens arrive forward. Scout was mostly healed up in the castle for Dinchester. Mangadai are starting to come out for Dobbs. He also does get Loom, so that's good. But Mangadai missing most of their upgrades against Ratten Archers. It's just not a pretty matchup, right? There's no armor whatsoever on the Mangadai yet. So they aren't going to be... They're, what? Doing 4 damage per shot versus 8? Not ideal, for sure. Both do have Bodkin. Rattens are coming in. They're very blocked right now, but the Mangadai just can't take this fight. Mangonel coming out now for Dobbs. He's had some crazy Mangonel micro in this tournament so far, Dobbs has. Really, really impressive. Okay. Having almost did Dinchester real dirty there. There's a nice attack ground, though. That is what I'm talking about. He doesn't miss very many shots. Okay, and Dinchester is pushed back. But he is getting up the second TC around the back, exactly where I wanted it to be. He can take the fish nicely here on the gold, on some wood, though there's not a huge amount of wood on this map. Mangadai are going to come out here and micro down these neutral mobs. At least try to. The skirmisher is actually putting up a decent fight here. Quite a few Rattens, though. 9 Ratten Archers grouped up for Dinchester. Still has to be real careful with the Mangonel in the mix. He's got a good advantage right now. You don't want to lose it by eating a gigantic Mangonel shot. Ooh, 1 Mangadai down for Dobbs. Little sloppy there. Ideally, you don't want to lose anything to these suckers. I think that'll be the last one he loses, though. Marketplace is getting sieged down slowly as the Rattens are swooping around. You do have a very small window of vision over the monument at all times, so Dinchester knew that Dobbs was going for it. He's going to take it back immediately. He says, thank you for killing all of those mobs. I will take that now, thank you. But how long can the Rattens stick around? I don't know. At the very least, this pulls some of Dobbs' siege out of position. does have a lot of siege, though. He has a lot of siege. Market will go down, which is a little annoying for Dinchester. Especially if he doesn't immediately realize it. He is banking up. Well, he's got a mangonel here. Rattens snipe a mangadai. That's nice. Scout in on the wood line, but I don't think this is the smoke that this scout wanted. He goes down to the wood line. And we're just going to see some dancing here. Dobbs is slowly surrounding these Ratten archers, though. It's tough to do with mangonels. Oh! Okay, that's one big shot. That's another pretty big shot. And there's nowhere left to run. Huge clear up for Dobbs. Great shots. Only 3 Rattens survive. They managed to escape with their lives, but numbers not looking quite as good as they once were. That being said, Dinchester has massed up another group of Rattens. Also has this mangonel in here. Another Ratten eats that shot. Okay, mangonel trades off well, though. And, well, goes 2 for 1 across both of those little fights. Does Dinchester, so that's probably okay for him. He's slowly gaining the eco advantage throughout all this, right? I guess. Food eco is still kind of an issue for Dinchester, though, to be fair. These guys have already fished through the nearer one, so they're taking quite a long trip. Not too many farms here, so idle TC. Only 2 seconds for Dobbs. It's crazy. Considering all the micro he's been doing. Actually really good. Dobbs does have a second TC back here now. Oh, mangonel pops out. Somehow doesn't snipe this one from Dobbs. That's very unfortunate. Usually you at least can trade off 1 for 1 in that situation. This is when you start getting nervous, right? Mongol player is starting to get a pretty big group of mangadai. If this becomes just a big ol' siege war, mangadai are a lot more helpful than Ratten archers are. Still not too many upgrades on either side, though. Okay, there we go. That time, mangonel goes down. But, like I said, the mangadai can just come in. No big deal. So realistically, you're probably never trading better than 1 for 1 here if you're Dinchester. And it's only a 5 villager advantage. Plus, Dobbs has the monument, which alleviates some of that. Siege Workshop down. And it's the TC next. And Dinchester is in full evacuation mode. Gets the university up, I guess, for ballistics. But... okay, TC is garrisoned. But for how long? 3 mangonels here for Dobbs, working away. 1 mangadai does go down. But the TC is also going to go down for sure. Dinchester's going to spread himself out around the back. That's another nice looking TC. But all these farms are denied, right? So these are the only food villagers Dinchester currently has working. And they're having to come all the way out here for food. So extra TCs are nice, but I don't think we're going to see too many more villagers here for Dinchester in the short term. Ballistics will come in, which is nice, I guess. The Rattens can trade pretty well against the mangadai now. But are they ever going to be in a position to? I don't know. University will go down, but not before ballistics comes in. And Dinchester is starting to realize that Dobbs has also expanded his eco some. Oh, this could be really good. Okay, I don't think the fight you want to take if you're Dobbs. He's bringing the mangonels around, though. Really good micro with the mangadai as well. Mangonels can come home. I probably would have killed the university before I came back with everything, but that's alright. Can't push the castle, right? So I think the next step here is probably Imperial Age for Dobbs. You can push out round the walls if you really want to. Always an option. But he's got the eco lead already. Dinchester has done a good job of getting farms up on the outside. He's up to 16 placed farms, so he can at least keep his TCs running. Mangadai taking some stray shots from the castle. And Dobbs is going to settle for just housing Dinchester. Osaw coming in for Dinchester. That's good. But 69 villagers for Dobbs is pretty nice. And I think he's just going to idle himself out for Imp here now. Sells stone, buys food, and clicks up to Imp. Now, Dinchester is floating a crazy amount of gold right now. He's got almost 1,800 gold in the bank. He also still has the monument, which is nice. So theoretically, Dinchester could probably click up here. Yeah. Buys 500 food straight up. Clicks up to Imp. Still has some gold left over. That's nice. More farming eco. Mangonel strays too close to the castle. So the unit composition here probably becomes what? Rat and Archer's bombard cannons versus Mangadai and Trebs, I guess. That's not a bad composition if you're the Vietnamese player. Dinchester is housed, but he snipes most of the Mangonels that are forward. The Mangonels become pretty much useless once Bodkin or once Bracer comes in, unless you're investing into Onager. So probably not the biggest deal for Dobbs to lose these at this point. They are almost certainly going down anyway. Forward castle, though, so he can get the Trebs out immediately. Don't think Dinchester can really take a fight here, no. So it's going to be about a 30-second advantage for Dobbs. Ooh, I don't know about this one, though. Dinchester tries to respond with his own castle at the front. All those Mangonels are right there, but I guess the castle protects the foundation. Rattans are going to try and snipe down the Mangonels. Dobbs not focusing on this. Trebs are already coming out for him, though. Okay, there's a good attack round. I mean, 2 castles versus 1 is a good way to win the Treb War when you're a little bit later to Imperial Age. Castle does go up for Dinchester. Okay, it's fine. Pushes Dobbs off of this gold here, mostly. And going to be a Treb War. Bracer comes in for Dinchester. First armor coming in for Dobbs. He still doesn't have, like, anything, right? Yeah. Still does not have anything. Bracer probably a good upgrade to get, though. Prepping begins. By the way, 2 of the better looking castles, in my opinion. I really like the Vietnamese one, but I like this. The Mongol one doesn't totally make sense to me, but it looks nice. The only issue here, if you're the Vietnamese player, is Mangadai can still dive on trebuchets, theoretically. They are going to lose numbers, though, doing it, diving underneath castles. Chemistry is on the way for Dinchester. He did have to rebuild his university. But bombard cannons are the difference here, right? Bombard cannons are easier to snipe, though, with the Mangadai, so I wonder how heavy you even go into them. This is a lot of trebuchets for Dobbs. He's up to 5. He has been producing trebuchets out of his back castle as well and sending them to the front. So Dinchester loses this castle for sure. And we'll see how things progress from here. Dobbs is going to run out of stone quite soon. Gonna have to buy more stone. That always feels bad. But it's worth it if you can win the Treb war. What just happened there? Treb went down. Did something hit it? I didn't see that. Alright. Targeting Trebs with Trebs. There are still some mangonels here, but like I said, this is kind of a tough... Oh, maybe not? Okay, that was a good shot. Didn't kill anything, but it was still a good shot. Trebs are going down for Dinchester. He's got his first bombard cannon out, so it's going to try to start sniping down Trebs before the Mangudai can go forward. Castle goes down for Dobbs. Trebuchet is taking some shots. Dinchester is out of gold. He's still mining it, but he has none in the bank. So it's getting more difficult to repair this. Also, bombard cannon goes down, I think, to a missed shot by one of the trebuchets. Dobbs, please. These mangonels are not doing it. I know you're great with the mangonels, but come on. Once Bracer and Chemistry is in, it's just not good. Dobbs loses a lot of villagers at the base of these trebuchets as well. Dinchester is still putting all of his gold into repairing this one trebuchet, but it's working. It is working. All these repair villagers are dying to the Rattans. The Mangudai can't really take a straight up fight. It feels super good, especially as the armor is coming in for Dinchester. Treb almost goes down. Oh my god. I can't believe it is taking so much damage. Oh, and nope. Still alive. No problem. Villagers are slowly going down to missed shots from the trebuchets. Also, Dinchester is now out of wood to repair as well. So this is becoming more and more difficult as this goes on. Rattan archers are getting domed. These trebuchets are menaces, man. Dobbs is teching into Elite Skirmisher, which feels really bad. It doesn't feel great as the Mongols anyway, because they don't get the last armor, but against Vietnamese especially, having to go Skirmisher feels unfortunate. But it is a good unit to add in here. They'll still trade off okay against the Rattan archers, so that's all you need right now. Dinchester can't really afford to switch into anything else, right? So there's probably nothing else coming. Bombard cannon trying to escape the trebuchet's shots. Skirms are here. The good thing about skirms also is you don't really care about diving underneath the castle for short periods of time, right? Because they're just skirms. So Dobbs can be a little bit more flippant with his military now. Rebs are going to start working away at this castle. Rattans. This is really good micro from Dobbs. Really good micro from Dobbs. This is like Leary micro, right? It's not flashy, but he's moving at just the right time to avoid the ballistics. Does lose a couple of Mangudai at the tail end of that fight. Dinchester is kind of repairing this castle, but I don't know if he can... Well, the bombard cannon is still in here. Mangudai don't feel like they can dive on it just yet with the Rattans in front, but the Rattan numbers are decreasing rather heavily. Castle goes down for Dinchester. He's housed now also. He does have a castle up on the side. He's expanding his eco around the back nicely. Even has TCs around here, whereas Dobbs is 100% in the middle. Still has not taken this monument away from this 1 7 HP Rattan. But it might not matter. Trebuchet rolls forward. It's tough to get Rattans on the field now, because we're only working with one castle from Dinchester, right? And even if you get Rattans out, the skirmishers, like I said, can trade off pretty nicely against them. I think this game is Dobbs's to lose at this point. I think it's... In fact, I think Elite Rattan is crazy. The queen, by the way, for Dinchester is out here. But The issue for Dinchester here is he doesn't have the resources to actually switch and off of Rattans in any way. There's no switch possible because the eco is in shambles for Dinchester. So he's stuck on this one unit that's being countered by weak skirmishers. Also, he can only make it out of one castle, right? So he's not going to have a ton of Rattans anyway. It feels tough. Skirmishers take down the monument controlling Rattan. So Dobbs has control of that again. He has full control over the middle. Final armor coming in for Dinchester on the Rattans. But how many Rattans does he have left for this? He's only got 13 plus 1. And eventually Dobbs is going to make his way around town to start trebbing the final castle as well. Another TC is going to go down. Dinchester. Not really microing at the front. So, like I said, they're not good skirms. They really are not great skirmishers. A little bit of micro and they can still get beaten by the Rattans for sure. Dinchester's going to go so far around the map that he's going to end up behind Dobbs' base at this rate. Equally, though, he's still losing his Rattans. He's getting thumb ring for them, but Dobbs is happy to trade skirms against this. And eventually, feels like Dinchester's is going to run out, right? The eco is really, really good behind this for Dobbs. So he can just spam out skirms forever, basically. Krebs rolling forward. Vills are going to start going down for Dinchester. He's already down 40 villagers. So can't really afford to take very many more losses. I guess this is not the worst, though, for Dinchester, trading military for villagers, maybe? I don't know. If this castle goes down, it feels like it's game over for Dinchester. I don't think there's any way he can come back anymore. Bombard cannon pops out. Skirms are just kind of hunting it down, though. Castle's going to start to get trebbed down. Dinchester has plenty of stone in the bank to repair, but to what end, I don't know. He's finally getting fully teched into the Mangadai. Thumb Ring and Parthian Tactics and Chemistry, actually, are still missing, so he still has some stuff to go. He's switching into Elite Step Lancer, which is interesting. We've got some cav around the outside harassing Dobbs' eco. That's nice, but I don't know if it's enough. As the castle is going to go down, doesn't matter how much stone you have or how many villagers you have. 4 trebuchets will bring this castle down eventually. And when that castle goes down, Dinchester has no production building left. For any military he has that's upgraded at all. Okay, 1 treb goes down, but Dinchester has already gone through all, like, 1,000 of his stone. And the castle goes down. He still fights on. Here comes the Step Lancers. They have pretty good upgrades, and the GG is called. All right. Felt like that one was coming for a hot minute. 78 Rattan archers, but Dobbs spammed out 100 skirmishers in the last, like, 10 or 20 minutes of that game. Really good job by Dobbs. Welcome in. Game 2. Wean Dinchester versus Dobbs in the Wallhalla semifinal. We are here on Tulo. I still don't know how to pronounce this. But we've got Chinese for Dinchester, and it's going to be the Byzantines for Dobbs. So this is the other regicide map, by the way. We've seen a couple of king/queen snipes on this map as well. So don't rule that out. As we'll see how risky players want to be there. Dinchester, immediate dock in the middle. There's not a ton of fish here. It's just a bunch of box turtles, but it is 2,400 food altogether. So it's generally worth docking and getting a couple fishing ships out at least. Can't really protect them long term, so you don't want to go for a full like Black Forest style boom. But especially for the Chinese, getting the early food eco rolling is nice. Like I said, this is played on the new patch. So Chinese have all of their fancy new toys, shiny new toys to play with. I'm still... Okay, what's happening here? The queen is holding the door open for Dobbs' scout. Okay, he leaves again. Gotta be a little tempting, but with the tower there and everything, probably never gonna happen. Feudal Age already on the way for Dinchester. So this is the Cumin map, is what I usually call it. You get so much food up front that you can hit a crazy Feudal Age timing. I actually think... I don't remember which player it was. Last time we saw the Cumins played on this map, they went like 14 pop Feudal Age or something crazy. I'm not going to quite see that, but Feudal Age is already on the way for Dinchester. Dobbs has 9 villagers queued up in the TC, but probably will not see all of them created before Feudal Age comes in, if I had to guess. So for this map, besides the water stuff in the middle, you start with fortified palisade walls. So they're kind of strong, but not super strong. You can chop out to the outside, which is where I think all of the stone is. Right, there's no stone in the middle. Yeah, so all of the stone is on the outside. There's also food out there. And wood, which can become an issue, though usually this map doesn't go long enough for that to be a problem. A scout harassing on the outside of the inside. Dobbs doesn't have loom again. He clicks up to the Feudal Age with no loom. Don't know if Dinchester is going to be able to snipe another villager. He got one in the previous game. Feudal Age is also in, so he can't take the fight straight up with his scout. It's just here for moral support, I guess. He's gonna chill out. He's still got a minute and a half of Feudal Age left. Until Feudal Age, rather. Dinchester went Feudal Age for what, though? He's gonna get a blacksmith up. He's floating so much... There's so much food on this map that it feels like he can go Castle Age, but he's still missing wood for the second building and has no gold. So I don't think... it's going to be a particularly fast castle. Dinchester dives. He does kill a villager, but he loses his scout. So not the worst thing in the world on either side. What does the scouting actually look like for Dinchester? Doesn't see very much, but there's not a ton to see on this map either, right? Like, it's worth scouting what things look like for your opponent, kind of, but there aren't really that many resources your opponent's going to be taking out here anyway, so scouting not necessarily as premium on this map as some others. Okay, Dinchester gets his market up, uses it a little bit, and he clicks up to the Castle Age. Dobbs is going to probably do about the same thing, although he's now missing another building. He has the wood for it. Oh, no, he's not. He's got the blacksmith already. So he can also sell some food and click up just fine. 30-second advantage for Dinchester here to the Castle Age. And what are we making here as the Chinese now? They don't start with a castle, so it's not an easy Chukanu choice. They don't get camels anymore. They get knights, but, well, knights are okay. There's no paladin late in the game. But knights are still strong in the Castle Age, I guess. But if your opponent's fully walled, which he is, Are you going to find value with them? I don't know. There's Fire Lancers now. I'm not sure how strong those are as units. I still haven't quite figured it out. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Great streamer. I appreciate that. Very complimentary. It's always a good way to lead in. Alright, Castle Age is going to hit here for Dinchester. And it's going to be what? Yeah, it's going to be monks. Chinese monks. They're okay. I always think Chinese monks are worse than they are. They do get most things except for redemption, so I guess that's okay, depending on the situation. And Dobbs is also going to go double monastery. Okay. Second TC out here for Dinchester, so he's not going to clown quite as hard as Dobbs is looking to. Byzantines have everything except herbal medicine, yeah. Alright. Dobbs has done some pretty gross things with double monastery play in this tournament so far, so I'm actually interested to see how this works out for Dinchester. Dinchester also actually don't know. I can't remember how his monk micro is. It should be okay, right? Surely? He's in so many John Slow tournaments. Surely his monk micro should be okay by now. Dobbs does still have this scout alive, which is, I suppose, one positive of keeping your scout up that I wasn't considering when Dinchester lost his. I wasn't thinking this was necessarily going to be a huge clown off. That's going to have to be a deleted fire galley for Dinchester. And it is. We get the Battle of the New Monks. I will say, no shade, but this is probably the most boring of the new monk skins. I'm just going to throw that out there, unless I'm forgetting something. He's still just like an old bald guy, right? It's not the biggest change. Dobbs is going to yoink the relic out of the middle. He's going to try and block the scout with his fishing ships, and he does it successfully enough that Dobbs feels the need to delete his scout. Atonement on the way for Dobbs already. Do you even go? I don't know. Do you go Atonement here as Dinchester and try to monk it out, or are you... You don't really want to be on monks long term as a Chinese, right? Triple TC in the back for Dinchester, though. It's only 2 TCs for Dobbs. Also, Dinchester chopped out the back faster, so he's going to try to stonewall in Dobbs around the side. I assume you can wall this, right? He hasn't placed the final wall segment. Also, Dobbs is Byzantines, right? So he can see everything back here. He sends a couple of villagers to box it out. And Dinchester is not really paying attention to this, I don't think. Fire Galley does get converted in the middle, so say goodbye to the fish. Still worthwhile to get the fish up, right? I guess. Only got, what, like... Not even 1,000 food out of here, right? I guess it's still worthwhile. Dobbs has Atonement, so if he's paying attention here... If he's paying attention here... He can convert this monk. And Dinchester's going to have to delete this monk, I think. Okay, he's converted instead. Oh, okay. The monk rapidly changes his clothing. That was weird. So he looked the same until he picked up the relic. It was only when he picked up the relic that he decided he needed to fit into the new religion a little bit more. Interesting. Alright, that's going to be the 3rd relic for Dobbs. Dinchester did get a relic. Might be able to get this one still. Although he's walling it out. So maybe not. Okay, Dinchester rather lost his forward villager, but he did manage to somehow fully stonewall in Dobbs's ville around the back here. So that's nice. It's going to take quite a while to punch your way through those stone walls. The wall is denied, though, rather importantly. Okay, I don't know why Dobbs is coming back here with a monk, but it's going to go down. Alright, so at the end of all of this, Dinchester has a 13 villager lead. Dobbs has 2 extra relics for now, with 1 still pending. I don't hate it for Dinchester. The only problem for Dinchester might be that I don't really like the Chinese late game against the Byzantines, right? What in the world do you make as the Chinese now? He's going to come out here for a castle. He will lose a couple of villagers to conversions, but it's not the end of the world. Wait a minute, how many monks are there here? I see more and more triangles popping up. There's actually quite a few monks here, so... well... I mean, the castle goes up, right? There's no question about it, but already 3 villagers have been converted. Lycav are going to run in here, though. Monks converting. Fire Galley blocking really nicely. 1 and both Lycav get converted. So vills are going down for Dinchester at the base of this now. A 3rd Lycav might be converted. It is. The castle still will go up for Dinchester, but he lost quite a few villagers getting it up. He had 4, I think, converted, and then he lost another 3 or 4 to the Lycav. So villager numbers have gotten a lot closer. It was 13, right? Now it's down to 7. Also, this castle is going down to a fire galley, 3 Lycav, and 2 villagers. I'm still kind of salty about the fact... Okay, well, we won't see it there. But the boxing mod, they take their knife out in between each punch. I still am a little... They need to update this mod, for sure, to stop this from happening. Totally ruining my immersion that these villagers are putting away their boxing gloves in between hits. Chukanu are out. Chukanu are stronger in Castle Age now. Still not amazing against the Navy, but it's fine. Everything's going to get cleared up there for Dobbs. Imperial Age on the way for both. Dobbs is about 25 seconds faster. Okay, both players have walled on this side. They've walled on the opposite sides of each other, interestingly enough. So it's going to be Chukanu, but it's Byzantines, right? Is that good? Oh no. Dinchester is going to get a 2nd castle up. And Dobbs has nothing. There are no castles for Dobbs. He does theoretically have access to stone back here. And back here, yeah. So he's got stone available, he just doesn't want it, I guess. Byzantines, I guess he just wants bombard cannons. Skirm bombard cannon can be okay here if Dinchester's only making Chukanu and Trebs. But this is probably about as good of a position as Dinchester could have hoped for with these civs, I believe. How are we looking upgrade-wise? Bodkin is in for both. First Armor is in for both. Bracer and Chemistry clicked immediately for Dobbs. He already has Ballistics as well. So he's pretty much got fully upgraded skirms. He needs the armors, but actually the armor might be relevant now. It's 10. Soon to be 11 attack for the Chukanu. Okay, that's a lot of Chukanu dead up top. Yeah, armor would be nice for sure. Reb's coming out, so Dinchester has the double castle stack, right? So he's going to have quite a few trebuchets out rather quickly. But Chemistry only 20 seconds away for Dobbs. He can start cranking out the bombard cannons after that. And he's teching into crossbowmen as well. I don't know if that's even necessary. The queen will evacuate from her tower. She's going to head on back to this town center for now. As Dinchester was again denied off of some walls on the side. This villager finally punched his way out of the stone. That's nice. Okay. Eco upgrades galore here. Gold shaft mining and two-man saw even coming in for Dobbs, as Dinchester getting stone shaft mining, so he wants more castles. More castles all the time. Taking out the siege workshop. Also nice. There's already 2 bombard cannons out on the field, but that's going to stymie the production a little bit going forward. Where is the rest of... It says there's another siege workshop here somewhere. Oh, it's back here. Okay. I don't know. I'm kind of liking Dobbs' position. I said in the previous game, right, Dobbs has been really good at just dying slowly enough to mass up the army he needs to push out in one big wave. This is why the crossbowman switch was coming in, by the way, because Dinchester is getting himself kind of switched into Cavalier. Again, that's not great for the Chinese because no Paladin, but fully upgraded Cavalier is something at least. Bombard cannons are going to take out the trebuchets. Jukanu eating some pretty big shots, but they do snipe down all 3 forward bombard cannons, so that's nice. A trade-off on siege is okay here for Dinchester, I guess. Still feels like the longer this game goes on, though, the better it is for the Byzantines. Because Byzantines have cheap halb and cheap camels if they want to go that route, right? Also just like straight up arbalests will do okay against the Cavalier. Still missing most of our blacksmith upgrades here is Dinchester, so we're still quite a while away from these Cavalier actually being able to take a fight. Final armor coming in and thumb ring, so that's now fully upgraded arbs, or not arbs, but crossbows. Still missing arbalest, importantly. Fully upgraded skirms, I suppose. Once that final armor hits. We've got a demo coming out here for Dinchester. He's dreaming big. I like to see that. Another castle. I mean, it's a good map positioning for Dinchester, right? He's claimed decent ground on the outsides. He's got most of the middle control. It's possible Dobbs runs out of gold eventually. Still has a lot, though. Demo? There's no way, right? He's dodging? Ah, sad. It did make the army back up, though. It made the army double think whether it wanted to go forward there. So it got the castle up, at least. Okay, finally castle here from Dobbs. But he is pushing down the castle from Dinchester at the front with his bombard cannons. It's such a slow switch, bro. Elite Chukunu. Finally, the final armor is coming in for the Cavalier. Still no attack. Elite Chukunu is really strong, but against all these Byzantine skirms, I don't know. Loom! Dobbs did not even have a loom this whole time. That's crazy. Alright, fair enough, though. I guess he hasn't needed it, right? He did lose some villagers, but most of them were the forward villagers he converted. So, yeah, I guess he hasn't needed it. Full eco upgrades coming in. Also, arbalest coming in. Also, 5 bombard cannons forward for Dobbs. Chukunu are coming forward. Elite Chukunu. They actually look sick as hell now. I always thought the Chukunu looked a little doofy, to be honest. Oh, and he's got the Lushuans! This is my first time seeing this unit. I have never seen this unit because nobody plays water maps. I was looking for them for so long. That one day I was casting the new patch, I wanted to see everything. Also, Cavalier actually do their job pretty well. They snipe all of the bombard cannons. So if you don't know what this is the new bombard, or rather cannon galleon replacement for the Chinese. They use trebuchet shots against siege and buildings, and they have the arrows that they use against regular units. Okay, they don't do a ton of damage to the siege, it's got to be said. Okay, they don't do a ton of damage against buildings either, but they do fire pretty quickly. So it might not be that bad. Ooh, really good sinking animation. They're very bouncy when they go down. Coco, welcome in. How's it going? New ship alert? Yeah, that was hype. I forgot all about that unit. They didn't seem to do that much, to be fair. I guess they're missing some upgrades. I want to see more of them for sure. Okay, we've got another one coming out. There is a castle forward now for Dobbs. It's going to be Cavalier and Light Cav mostly for Dinchester, I guess. He still has some Chukanu, but they're going down pretty hard here to the skirms. Only pikeman for Dobbs hasn't been able to swing Halb yet, so that's one positive at least. Your Dinchester. Oh, also, there's something behind here? Or is this a full stone wall and then there's just one palisade on this side? Can't quite tell, but Dinchester seems to think there's nothing behind here. And he's right. So the way is open. Arb's dying to the castle, not great. Chukanu's still dying. Cavalier probably don't want this fight. Well, there aren't a ton of pikes, I guess. Nice quick walls from Dobbs behind this to prevent the light cav from doing too much damage. Yeah, the Cavalier all die. Okay, this castle's going down. Is there a trap here, or is this all Lu Xuan? This is all Lu Xuan, baby. Oh no, there's a trap over here. Okay, never mind. Surely the Lu Xuans help, though, right? The castle's going to go down for Dobbs. Yeah, they don't do it. They take like 3 shots to kill a bombard cannon, which I suppose isn't their main purpose. Probably won't matter most of the time, but they don't do great against the siege. Well, it's okay. It's fine. They still attack quickly. It's fine. It's 25. It says they have 230 bonus damage against buildings. I guess maybe they were doing that much. Monk's going down. Treb will go down. But we're kind of reaching the point where it's going to be light cav and maybe some Chukanu up against Byzantine trash, right? And Chinese light cav, they don't get, they don't get Hussar, so it's not great. If Halb can ever come in for Dobbs, the light cav are going to be mostly useless. I don't think anything else crazy is happening on the sides just yet. It's all just one big center push, which again benefits the Byzantines. Lu Xuan's going forward. There's a monk in here for Dobbs. He might be able to convert one of these guys. Treb goes down though. Lu Xuan converted, and it's going to die to the castle immediately unless he saves it. I can't. It's very bouncy. I don't know. I know all the ships are a little bit bouncy when they go down, but that seems extreme. Alright, war galleys coming out now for Dinchester. Skirmishers throwing themselves underneath the castle, but they're just Byzantine skirms, so who cares? Halb on the way now for Dobbs. And what's the win condition here for Dinchester, right? It's like he has map control, so Dobbs might run out of gold, but he's on a full trash composition anyway, basically. I guess he does have 41 arbalests in here. So he's not full trash. What is this? Heavy rocket cart coming in for Dinchester. Okay, I haven't ever seen this either, to be fair. Most games I saw ended before a heavy rocket cart could be researched. I think it's a rather big sprite difference, if I remember correctly, right? Doesn't it go vertical? Yeah. Climb that mountain. All right, so we'll see if this thing can turn the tables. It does go up to 65 HP, which is quite a big difference, right? Okay, it still dies before it can get a shot off. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm unsure about this one. Dinchester. He's rolling in with the light cav. But he's rolling in with the light cav straight into 50 arbalest. 40, actually. I guess the halbs aren't here. There aren't very many halbs on the field, actually, for Dobbs. One Treb goes down. One Treb goes down. Dinchester has plenty of stone. He can... well, actually, he's taking quite a bit of stone already on the outside, but he still has more he can take, so he's going to be repairing this castle. But for how long, I don't know. I think some of these Trebs have hill advantage as well. Galleon coming in for Dinchester. I don't know if that's the play. Demos, unironically, would be great here. Imagine a demo. It's coming out. I don't think Dobbs is still going to be here, though, when it gets here. This is why you need to preload your demos. You can't be a reactionary demo maker. That's not how it works. You need to have them in the docks ready to go for when the opportunity presents itself. Dinchester specifically should know better. He plays a lot of tournaments where demo ships come into play. Alright, castle's going to go down for Dinchester. It's just a matter of time. He has nothing left to snipe the trebuchets. Arrow slits even coming in for Dobbs. Does he have any towers on the map? No. Dinchester is pushing in with rams on the outside, I suppose. There are halb raids happening in the back of Dinchester's base, which is actually quite annoying. Cavalry run in again. They might snipe this. No, they don't even. Demos go down. Very sad. Okay, this Lu Xuan deals with a trebuchet at least. The monks forward, trying to convert the Lu Xuans, though. And they kind of... They are converting. Dinchester has pumped many castles worth of stone into this one castle. He is keeping it up, man. He has also got 30 villagers around the base of it, which is not a small percentage of his eco. I mean, the hold is great from Dinchester, right? I just don't know what the win condition is. I guess if he can push in here, surprise with some light cav around the back, maybe. There is a lot of raidable eco if he can get really far in the back there. I'm pretty sure we're in the thousands of stone that Dinchester has used repairing this castle. It's remaining standing, but he's gone through all of his stone stockpile. And there are still 6 trebuchets firing away here. Okay, Navy is able to push in a bit. They actually do okay damage against the trebuchets, the galleons do, surprisingly. But Dinchester is having to buy stone for 200 gold a pop now. And he's still running out of stone, so the castle will fall. And it seems like it's just a matter of time now until Dinchester's going to lose the game. I don't see a path to victory for him. The queen is in this TC. There's no way you can snipe this, right? I don't think so. Probably his only hope left at this point. Rebs are going to move on to the next castle, I suppose. Elite Skirmisher now for Dinchester. Probably could have used that earlier. It always feels bad to tech into that against the Byzantines, but yeah, I think it maybe was necessary. 80 halbs in queue for Dobbs right now, and he still has thousands of wood and food floating. This castle is going down like nothing. There are so many trebs here from Dobbs now. 7 trebuchets is crazy. So the castles will not stay standing for long, especially... well, he does have architecture, okay. That's fine, but no hoardings for the Chinese, right? So they aren't the tankiest castles in the world. The push on the left-hand side is stopped. Light Cav are going to roll in here. They might be able to get a trebuchet. I don't even know if they get that, though. They don't. So another castle's going to go down, and I mean, it feels bad to resign in this position, right? You're still pretty good population. You still have decent map control, but just how do you stop this? 150 Vils, probably too much for Dinchester at this point also. But I guess he's not pop capped, so it doesn't matter that much. And all that map control that Dinchester has is not going to be there for much longer. Cavalier, even coming in for Dobbs. For what reason? I don't know. He's actually making the knights, though. Byzantines do get Paladin. I mean, it's pretty much full skirm and light cav for Dinchester, so Paladin would actually go hard right now. The Trebs continue pushing forward. A castle now forward for Dobbs, claiming some more gold. Dinchester making castles in the back and sides of his eco, which is never a good sign. Well, it's either a really good sign because it means you have so many castles you can afford to put them in the back and on the sides, or it's a bad sign because it means there's nowhere else you can actually put the castle. Queen for Dinchester is back here, for what it's worth, but the Trebs are happy enough just clearing up all of the production buildings in the middle for Dinchester for right now. Market's also going to go down. The army composition is kind of nuts for Dobbs. He has a converted Shukanu, Hussar, Cataphract, Cavalier, Elite Skirm, Arbalest, Halb, Monk, Trebuchet, Ram, Paladin on the way for Dobbs. If you're pushing this hard and you're affording Paladin, that is also not a great sign for your opponent. Trebs roll forward. They're going to start taking out TCs now. And the GG has to be called, yeah. It is indeed over. And, I mean, it was well played on both sides, to be honest. But Byzantines are just such a better late game civ compared to the Chinese. It's like not even close, right? So Dobbs, again, survived long enough. He was taking a lot of damage, right? The push was coming in hard on him. There were castles up kind of in his face. He didn't have any castles for a while there, but he defended with Skirmisher Bombard Cannon for long enough for the civ difference to kick in. Let's get into it, though. Welcome in. Game 3, potentially decider match. Here, Dobbs versus Wean Dinchester in the Wallhalla Silver League semifinals. We are here on Castra. We've got Georgians for Dinchester, and of course, how could I forget, it is the Aztecs for Dobbs. So, let me tell you how this game is going to go. Dinchester's coming out for the dock immediately with the Georgians. So the eco is going to be nice. If you don't remember this map, by the way, there's some fish in the middle. And then you have the like golden relic and wood things on the outside. What is happening here? It's all goats, okay. So generally the meta way... Oh, okay. That eagle has the longest arm. I guess he has a pretty long pointy stick. He almost killed that villager. That would have been a disaster for Dinchester. But this is fine, kind of. So generally, the main way you play this map is you get a dock down early, maybe 2, get a couple of fish out. Usually, I would say no more than like 3 per pond, though you can go more if you want to. And then go up to Castle Age, Fast Castle usually. TCs on the outside, map control, and you play it out from there. This is not how Dobbs plays this map. Dobbs, this is the 3rd time now, I think, that we've seen Dobbs go Aztecs on Castra. And what Dobbs does is he FCs. He does not go for the water at all. There's no water contestation. He goes FC, puts 1 or maybe 2 TCs just in this arena. Sometimes he'll like come out here for 1, depending on the map. But he does not stretch out for here at all. He just booms up in his little arena, goes imp, and kills his opponent. He goes imp, and he just kills. So he doesn't mess around with the sides here. If the game progresses longer, obviously, he'll start to come out here and stuff. But most of his game plan is just playing this like arena and pushing that way with the Aztecs. Usually a lot of monks. I think it's been eagles in the past. Might Jaguar warriors could be a possibility now on the new patch. We'll see. But it's worked out for Dobbs so far. It feels like that shouldn't work. But it just does. He's won both of the games we've seen him in on this map doing that. So we'll see if Dinchester has A, done his research, and B, has figured out some way to counter that strategy. I don't know. Fish is going nice. Like I said, 3 or 4 fishing ships feels like the sweet spot to me. Just a nice little boost to your eco early on in the game. There's not a ton of fish here, right? There's 950 food in each pond. Long term, you don't really want to be fish trapping here because it's right in the middle, so it's easy to snipe. You don't want to overinvest. Feudal Age on the way for both. Why is Dobbs... Why is Dobbs a villager up? Oh. Because Dinchester lost a villager to wildlife, I suppose. I missed that. Can I see the skeletal remains of a fallen brother here? I see goat horns. I don't know where this happened. I don't think there aren't like wolves out here, are there? Because there was the weak villager that was forward. It's a mystery. A sudden heart attack, perhaps. So Dinchester down 1 villager, not the end of the world though. Feudal Age is going to come in, and it's just going to be FC from both players. Should be easy enough to pull off for both. Dobbs even pushing in his last few deer here. Castle Ages. Stable Blacksmith for Dinchester. It's going to be Market Blacksmith for Dobbs. Deep Fish is already run out for Dinchester, and he's going to dock the second pond. I think, well, I guess it delays your castle age a little bit, right? I was going to say maybe an earlier dock could have been nice too, but maybe it's not worth the investment that early on. There's a lot of food in your arena, right? So you don't necessarily need to go full in on the fish. Castle age on the way for both. And we'll see what the game plan is for Dinchester. The stable makes me think he wants to fight for relics. Which, again, is generally how people play this map out. But it has not been a winning strategy against Dobbs' singular push on this map so far. But we'll see. Georgians are a very strong civ. I think everything being equal, Georgians should be a much better civ than the Aztecs. Even with the infantry upgrades, I still don't think Aztecs have a great answer to, like, Manaspa or strong cavalry in general. Yeah, and Dinchester's just playing this out meta. He's going to go for a TC. Either right there or right there. He's going to go for fortified churches. Maybe in the... No, he doesn't have a villager here anymore. I was going to say maybe in the middle to protect the fish a little bit longer, but... So 2 TC. Monastery. He's even walling up this area early. Okay. That's very hard to do, by the way. Because there are so many holes in the wood lines here to work through. Second TC... Light cav. And doesn't have the wood. He used the wood on what? Where is it? Fortified church. Okay. Meanwhile, Dobbs goes for the second TC inside the arena. Res collected. Still quite even. I suppose... Well, Dobbs has been ahead by, like, a villager this whole time. Walking time for the villagers and going to the middle and stuff, I suppose, for Dinchester hurts him a little bit. But I'm a little surprised he's not more ahead with the fish. Double monastery. Or Dobbs. This, I guess, I mean, he won the game last time. I wouldn't necessarily say the double monastery won him the game last game. But Aztec monks are quite thick as far as monks go. Sanctity already on the way. And they get thicker with each upgrade they get out of the monastery. So it's going to be eventually rather difficult to snipe these monks even with the light cav. Fervor on the way as well. Devotion immediately for Dinchester. Okay. He did scout the double monastery, so he knows what's coming. Devotion, the immediate devotion is beautiful. I love that. Not playing around with it. Just bite the bullet and get devotion. He's going to scout up here just to make sure Dobbs isn't out here, but he is not. He's scouting out here to make sure Dobbs isn't out here, and he's not. Monks coming out. They only have 55 HP. I don't know if that's enough. Okay. It's definitely not enough for this guy. But maybe for these two? Deletes. Okay, beautiful engagement for Dinchester. Beautiful. He deleted one light cav. And that's all he needed to clear up all the monks currently on the field for Dobbs. I guess there's still one chilling out in here. All right, that's a good start. That's a real good start for Dinchester. So he's going to get his own monks out on the field. He already has one relic. She's going to nab this one. should be able to get this one and this one if he's... I think the relics usually are in the same spots on this map, so he can know generally where they are. He doesn't see this one, though. So it might end up being 4-1 relics in Dinchester's favor. He's going for another TC out here as Dobbs goes for his third TC in the arena. Like I said, this has been what has worked for Dobbs. But against the... I don't know. Against the Georgians, I don't know. Frankie, welcome in. How's it going today? This shouldn't work for Dobbs. I'll put it that way. There's nothing here that makes me think it should work. But I haven't been super confident in it the other times he's done this either, and it's always worked out for him. So he just kind of makes it work sometimes. But it just feels like a really bad matchup. I think there's a lot of stone in the arena still, too. Deleted villager there, okay. Dinchester is fast on that delete button, man. He is not playing any games with these conversions. I just don't know what the Aztecs can do if you get a Manaspa mass. That's the only thing... Well, that's not the only thing, but that's a big reason that I'm not quite sure about this for Dobbs. Okay, conversion comes back the other way as the slowest attackers in the game. We'll slowly duke it out over here. Jeez. This guy doesn't even want to attack. He's just standing there. I don't think this guy is attacked once. There we go. Monk goes down and he's going to get stuck in now. Guess didn't want to attack the religious icon, I suppose. I guess Dobbs doesn't see any of this? Wow, okay. Well, this is going to be an interesting TC choice from Dobbs. He's going to go right underneath the fortified church to try and build this TC. He has no idea Dinchester is up here at all. Although it feels like he has to suspect it. Now, Dinchester's going to go for the house wall at the back so that these villagers are trapped in here. Dobbs says, oops, never mind. He's going to build a siege workshop instead. So, good reaction there from Dobbs. Also, Dobbs did manage to convert 3 light cav away from Dinchester. So, he's got some monk sniping capabilities of his own now. 2 militia. Feels like that was a misclick probably from Dobbs. And he's dropping a castle here now. Okay. He was ready to roll. He had no idea Dinchester was up here, but he was ready as soon as he realized it, man. Also, Mangonel's going to come out here as the castle is attempted for Dinchester. If Dobbs notices this, he could kill a lot of villagers. I don't think he can deny the castle, though. Oh, he's so late popping out. That's unfortunate. He could have killed like 10 villagers there, maybe. The Mangonel got out faster. Castle completes for Dobbs, but there's a ram already out for Dinchester. Also, Imperial Age already coming in for Dinchester, and I think Dobbs might lose his first game of the set here. I struggle to see how the Aztecs can come back from this position. He's going to lose all of his stuff up here, including these villagers. Unless... Well, no, he's going to lose it either way, right? Because he's going to be quite far behind Imp, so it doesn't even matter, really, if the ram goes down. Oh, use the castle. That's smart, actually. So Dobbs won't lose the villagers, at least, but clicks up about a minute, a little bit more than a minute behind Dinchester, and Manaspa can start coming out. What do the Aztecs have against Manaspa? I don't really know. I suppose the only answer is Garland War Pikes, but that... I don't think that is good. I don't think that's good, though. These poor militia icon, or relics rather, of a time long past go down. Okay, there's a villager inside this ram. And the raids are now in. And it's not pretty. It is really not pretty. The Manaspa, even now, they're trading quite well against the pikemen. I guess there's no upgrades in, but yeah, Dinchester takes his first win. Georgians, man. Strongest civ in the game since they were released, and the devs decided all they needed to become a balanced civilization was to regen slightly slower in the feudal age. The devs decided that was the only thing making this an unbalanced civ. Alright. Alright, welcome in. I am going to go a little bit faster through the earlier ages because I'm hoping to catch a Masters of Mangonel set after this, and after all, it is Arena. Welcome in. Game 4. Dobbs versus Wean Dinchester here in Wallhalla Silver League. We are here on good old Arena. Not quite good old Arena. Although, this is a bigger Arena middle than we've seen, I think. Usually it's much more truncated in the middle in this particular version of Arena. It still is smaller, but... So we've got Portuguese, after all, for Dinchester. It's going to be the Celts from Dobbs. Celts, they've been his first pick in the Civ draft every single set. I believe this is true. I knew this in the past, so it's probably still true, that Celts are Dobbs' #1 win rate civilization on ranked ladder. And he's done pretty okay with them in this tournament, if I recall, right? He won at least one of his games with them on Arena. I don't remember the other one. I'm pretty sure this is the third time we've seen them. Or that I've seen them, rather. So, we'll see what the game plan is here for Dobbs. In the past, I'm trying to remember what Civ he was up against. I'm remembering he just kind of boomed in the back. FC 3TC boom. His opponent was pushing him with like castles at the front. I actually think maybe it... Was it the Portuguese? No, it was like Spanish or something, I think. Regardless, his opponent was pushing him in imp, had castles forward, all that kind of jazz, and Dobbs just boomed and boomed and boomed, survived long enough for the eco lead to really jumpstart him, and he just pushed out and won the game. So we'll see if that's the game plan again. I mean, that's probably not his game plan, necessarily, to get pushed in imp and have to die slowly. But against the Portuguese, that's maybe what will end up happening. We'll see. It was Mayans, wasn't it? It was against the Mayans, maybe. I'm remembering that for some reason. Although why you would pick Mayans on Arena is a baffling decision. Blacksmith, yes. Oh, yeah. Now I'm remembering. Okay, double archery range for Dobbs. So he's going to go archers to try and take relic control. Castle Age on the way for both. It's quite a fast Castle Age for Dinchester, though. He's going to be in the Castle Age. Still 2 minutes to go for Dobbs. And it's going to be a, Portuguese special is what we call this right here. He's going to drop the castle. It's going to be at home. So it's not quite the Portuguese special of the yesteryear. Probably a good thing because the archers are out. And, well, the castle's going to go up. Dobbs doesn't really want to hang out here with the... Oh, actually. Alright, we can slow down. No loom. No loom for Dinchester, so the archer's actually doing pretty good damage against these vills. One goes down. Beautiful Portuguese castle, by the way. I think this is my first time seeing it in game. Beautiful. I like it a lot, actually. This like rickety wooden staircase suspended in the air doesn't really feel like it fits the rest of the architecture I'm seeing here, but it's fine. My real question is, why would you ever use this when there's this staircase right here that seems to go down into the same area? Who's choosing this staircase? All right, so organ guns are going to come out here. So the Celt archers are not going to have a super fun time against the organ guns. But the Mangonel might. Ooh, domed. What was the organ gun nerf? They lost HP, right? So they actually, the Mangonel counter to organ guns is a lot stronger now. I think that's what happened. It used to be organ guns would survive with a little bit of HP to a direct Mangonel shot. I don't think that's the case anymore. Also, my favorite monk in the game. Super bosses. They've got the pimp cane plus the hat. It's like really nice. They've certainly got some flair to them. Redemption on the way for Dinchester, so he's ready to convert the Mangonels. Crossbow already in for Dobbs. Celt crossbow. It's good for map control, especially on this arena version where the middle area is theoretically smaller. I'm not sure it is, this one, though. It's quite big. Usually you'd be missing, like, all of this space, roughly. So it's usually quite a small middle area on this version of Arena, so the ranged units are a bit easier to control the map with than your standard Arena game. Organ guns going down, though. Monks going down. And, okay, Dinchester is yoinking a relic from the middle, though. He's already got 2. So it's only these 2 left, but if Dobbs is able to... Okay, nice anti-micro there from Dinchester. Dobbs went for the attack ground, and the scout just stood still. Not the end of the world for Dobbs here, though. If you can get 2 relics, it's actually quite good for you. He's already on 3 TC in the back of his base. Food Eco lagging behind a little bit, but he's getting there. So he's going to gain an Eco lead. Dinchester just on the 1 TC. Pumping out organ guns and monks. I'm becoming less confident that Dobbs is going to be able to secure any relics at this rate. He's not even going for a monastery, so I suppose he's just going to try and delay Dinchester as long as possible. Do we like Celts against Portuguese late? I guess if the eco is stronger enough, it's worthwhile. Crossbows trying to snipe the monks, but both Mangonels are converted. All the crossbows go down, and all the Mangonels go down. Okay, that was a good fight for Dinchester. That was a really good fight for Dinchester. On stone now is Dobbs. Dinchester probably just wants to go Imp, if I had to guess. I don't think he wants to put down additional TCs and boom. I think it's just an Imp play. He's not that far behind economically yet, right, Dobbs? 2.5 minutes of idle TC time is somewhat high. Like I said, his food eco was not great for a while there, because he was trying to make wood and gold units. Getting light... Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Celts, man, what a sieve. Everything... anything the Celts make always gives me the same reaction. Whenever I see anyone teching into basically any unit as a Celts, I'm like, ugh. Celt crossbow, gross. Celt light cav is gross. They just don't have good options. It's like infantry and siege. That's all they've got. And then an occasional Celt Paladin play for the boys mixed in. That's the one unit that gets me hype for the Celts. Dobbs has to be a little bit careful here. Gonna trade off 1 for 1. I guess that's fine for Dobbs. Is it though? Imperial Age on the way for Dinchester, so it's gonna be that situation again where Dinchester's going to be forward with a castle in Imp, and Dobbs is just trying to survive on 3 TC long enough to get his eco rolling, but he's completely idling his TCs out right now. Going triple stable as the Celts, man. Oh, God. I don't know. It feels so bad. Though, he can charge out here with enough military and clear up this castle drop. It would be pretty hype. He sees it. Can he, though? He's got 6... No, there's no way. Here he goes. Well, maybe there is a way. The crossbow's putting in good work. The monks all go down. Okay. He needed that. He really needed this in a major way. He needed to deny that castle in a major way. He won't end up killing most of the villagers, but he does deny the castle. He forces the army back from Dinchester, loses some of the cavalry there in the meantime. But Dinchester hits Imp with no forward positioning whatsoever, which is perfect for Dobbs. So Dobbs is going to keep booming. He's 14 villagers up now. And his base is completely safe for the time being. He pulls... Yeah. Save that like F. There we go. So, I'm back on board. I'm not saying Dobbs is in a winning position yet, but he kind of is. He's up 20 villagers now. Has equal map control. Dinchester does have all 5 relics. It's not ideal for Dobbs, but has to delete that mangonel. That's unfortunate. Also, I just don't know what you make as the Celts late game. Maybe his eco can be strong enough he can afford Onager. Maybe siege Onager, but then Portuguese have, like, good monks, right? So I don't... Okay. Oh, God. Okay, Dinchester's coming out again. He wants this again. I don't know about this. The mangonel is putting in work. The organ guns are getting good kills, but they're not able to help support the castle going up. So Dinchester's going to have to pull back again. Oh boy. 40 we're going to need Fatorias. This is where we're at for Dinchester. This 100% has to be a Fatoria game now, because he's down to 40 villagers, 70 for Dobbs. And there it is. Fatoria number 1. And castle number 1 for Dobbs. Dinchester had to delete that castle foundation. Very sad. But it affords him his first Fatoria. He's getting block printing for the monks. And it's another situation where I'm just not totally sure what you even make here as the Celts long term. Lake Cav are doing okay for now, to be honest. They're not doing too bad against these organ guns. Bombard cannons are coming out, but there's no support here for Dinchester. Convert the ram, yes, actually. For some reason, the ram does no damage to this old man. Woad Raiders. Woad Raiders against the Portuguese. It'll be okay for now, right? If organ guns get masked up, or... Honestly, Woads don't do terribly against hand cannons. Even though it's a counter unit, the speed that the Woads run in with is sometimes more than the hand cannons can deal with. Bombard cannon. Trying to be sniped down. And it is 1 HP, 2 HP Mangonel. Okay. 90 villagers for Dobbs, but it's going to be a second Fatoria for Dinchester. I mean, I might not be able to cast that Masters of Mangonel set after all, guys. This might end up being a 5-hour game at this rate if Dinchester's going full Fatoria on us. Loom and Wheelbarrow on the way for Dobbs. You have to... How many Fatoria do you make in this situation? Like 3? They're what, 20 pop each, right? That's 60 plus like 50 vils. That's about right. It's not a super strong economy. Maybe you make 4 even. I don't know. Okay, stuff is being converted here. 1 Mangonel is converted. 1 Woad is converted. Heresy on the... Oh, true. I forgot that Celts get Heresy. They have they have such a bad monastery tech tree that I forget they get anything. But they do get Heresy. And also up to Faith. Still not ideal against block printing monks, but it's better. Okay, third Fatoria is up for Dinchester. He's just making so many houses trying to keep up with the pop cap. Also, I don't know, I think Dobbs has given him too much time, right? Got hand cannons in here, he's got the organ guns in here. Mangonels are doing okay against the organ guns, it's gotta be said. Bombard cannon goes down. There is another one in here. But the army has pretty much dried up for Dobbs. And, well, I guess another okay shot on the bombard cannon, but the army is all dead. 104 villagers for Dobbs. 54 villagers for Dinchester, but he's going for the 4th Fatoria. Alright. I mean... Second castle back here for Dobbs, but for what, right? Just more woads? I'm not sure how to feel about this game right now. I don't think the Celts should be able to win this matchup. I don't think they should be able to from here. I think Dobbs needed to do more damage earlier. Like, there was... Really, when the Fatoria started being added in, that's when Dobbs needed to be able to reclaim land, at least in the middle. That's a lot of resources, right? These are, what, 200 gold and wood each? Is that true? That's 800 gold and stone. It's a lot of resources, right? Being put into this instead of other stuff. That's probably when the 100 villagers needed to kick into gear for Dobbs and carry him to some sort of control. Because now, okay, he's up 60 villagers, but Fatorias are equalizing that somewhat. The army is seemingly insurmountable here from Dinchester. I have no idea what you make as the Celts. He's going knights. Celt knights. They don't get bloodlines. They don't get the last armor. And, well, they're dying. They get a bombard cannon. Okay, sure. Woads get mowed down trying to dive in on the organ guns. And the GG is just called. All right. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to a game 5. Yeah, I think there needed to be... It's not a good Civ matchup for Dobbs, but I think if there was a hope for Dobbs there, he needed to hit that timing in there. Just couldn't quite pull it off. So Dinchester ties it up. Reverse sweep is on the table here. We like to see game 5s for sure. We haven't seen too many of these in Silver League either, so I'm hyped for this. Welcome in, final game in the Dobbs versus Wean Dinchester semifinal. We are here on Hideout. And yeah, let's get into it. Malay for Dinchester. I think that makes a lot of sense. He had Persians available to him, but I think I prefer Malay here. And it's going to be the Ethiopians for Dobbs. Okay. That's also all right. He had the Berbers available to him, but I think Ethiopians makes a lot of sense. I also think... no, I'm not going to say that, actually. But I do think Ethiopians feels decent against the Malay. So both of these civs very timing oriented, right? I think in almost every map, both of these civs, you're talking about them having to hit timing windows. Malay, obviously, they age up faster, so whether it's trying to do something fancy in the Castle Age, or just get up to Imp faster, or Siege Wars, that's the Malay's bread and butter. A late game... It's mostly infantry for the Malay. Also, like, some arbalest, I guess, is probably their main composition, right? They can go elephant. But that doesn't feel great in the late game. That's more of a, like, Castle Age kind of thing. Ethiopians, also. Usually, when I cast Ethiopians specifically, they're going for some sort of Castle Age... siege crossbow push, which can certainly work on this map. Also worth noting, very close together are these two players. So an early push is certainly on the table for both. Bloodless. We've got a celebrity in chat. Sick clown cast. Thank you. We like our clownery for sure around here. I think late game, this doesn't feel the best for the Malay, right? They want to go like infantry, maybe arbalest, siege, but Ethiopians have better arbalest, they have better siege, and they have decent infantry. But what are the odds that with these two civs we're going to get into like a post-imp situation? I don't think it's that likely. If this game doesn't end in Castle Age, it feels like it has to end in early imp. But we'll see. We've got a singular militia here for Dinchester. Okay, there's the second one coming out now. So it's... okay, it's going to be men-at-arms for Dinchester. He's up to feudal... it's kind of the Malay curse, right? He's up a little bit too fast to actually hit the timing on this men-at-arms rush. But, okay, we're gathering up. How's the scouting look? Okay, he realizes where his enemy is. It's going to be men-at-arms and towers behind for Dinchester. And I think Dobbs is just going FC. 3 TC mini boom imp could throw off the Ethiopians. That's true. Could also... I mean, if you're tower pushing, right? Is there ever a argument for tower push into just like a 1 TC imp? Maybe. Dobbs is going to have to... he's building walls with a lot of villagers already. It's going to be... oh god. Actually, what's he doing? Okay. He's walling with 8 villagers right now. That's a third of his eco, currently walling the map. He's also having to wall out his stone and his gold, which is really bad. This map is actually atrocious for Dobbs with how this is playing out. Second tower already. This might maybe this doesn't even get to Castle Age. I might have been a little too optimistic. Dobbs is going to have to really pull something out of his hat here. Loom on the way. He wanted to go FC, but he can't really anymore. I guess if he can get a market down, but do you even FC now, or do you have to... No, you have to FC, right? To push back the towers. I think that's your only way forward. So he has to afford a market as his second building so he can sell a little bit of something and get up to the next stage. Men-at-Arms are pushing in, though. These are new and improved Men-at-Arms. They've got the speed buff, which I guess isn't really coming into play here so much. Another tower. He's missing 3... Okay, there we go. Tower and counter tower. You have to draw your line in the sand at a certain point here if you're Dobbs. Both players playing chicken on the tower. Neither player really wants to make this tower. It's worse for Dobbs, though. Wherever Dobbs makes his tower, that's his only tower, because he can't really take stone for quite some time now. Is this where you make your tower? I guess it's okay. He's got another lumber camp in the back. He deletes it. All right. Barracks coming up now. Dinchester just builds his third tower here. Seems happy denying the gold for now. This is going to get really expensive for Dobbs, right? He's going to have to sell more to get a mangonel out. This house is also going to go down eventually. Okay, no arson for Dinchester. Oh, I like Dinchester's positioning. He's coming back in here. He sees that the tower was deleted, so he's going to make another tower in here. And so here's the idea behind tower rushes, for those who don't know. On these closed, quote-unquote closed, if that's how you want to call hideout, maps, tower rushing, you just put a bunch of towers down. You don't... You know, on Arabia or other maps, I'd be saying, you know, this tower isn't really denying anything. Like, this tower wasn't really denying anything. I'd be more critical that way. On closed maps, it doesn't really matter. You just put a bunch of towers down and force your opponent to invest clearing them up. So now, Dobbs hits Castle Age. Great. But he has to somehow figure out where he's going to put a siege workshop. There it is. And then he has to spend 5 to 10 minutes clearing up all of these towers in his base before he can even think about pushing out. In the meantime, you've been feudal age all this time, theoretically with eco upgrades, which we at least have double bid axe, I guess. You have a bunch more villagers, right? 8 villager advantage right now for Dinchester, between the Malay gaining 2 villagers when they age up, basically, and then also just not being in Castle Age yet. Your eco is strong, so you can hit imp faster behind it while your opponent is still dealing with your forward towers. That's the idea. Okay. Dobbs trying to get onto gold back here, but Dinchester sees it coming. He's got a couple of archers out here. Scorpion trying to defend, but it's very clunky getting it into the right position. This is going to be very annoying. This is going to be super annoying for Dobbs. Trying to micro down these archers. Mangonel finally coming out. So it can slowly start to clear up the towers. Meanwhile, behind this, Dinchester going for his own market. Eco looking strong. He can click up to the Castle Age pretty soon if he wants to. And I think you probably should at this point, right? You've done so much damage with this tower play. Forced so much reaction out of Dobbs. I have no idea what Dobbs was planning on doing in this game, but it wasn't this, right? You'd never want the siege workshop at home and stuff like that, even if you're going for a siege play. So you've completely disrupted Dobbs's game plan, whatever it was. Forced him to invest in all of this stuff. I mean, even just all the walling he had to do early on takes a lot of resources away from you. So you can see almost 1,000 res collected ahead for Dinchester here. Men-at-Arms still finding value as well. They're diving in on the mangonels. Can they get one? I don't think so. They don't, but they do a lot of damage. Forces resources into the repair. Also, just, you know, delaying things a little bit longer. The Men-at-Arms not really relevant as the game goes on, so that's okay. Castle Age hits for Dinchester. He's getting Bodkin, so it's not a straight-up fast imp play. Instead, he goes forward siege. All right. Like I said, this is kind of what both civs are known for, right? I think maybe Ethiopian's a little bit more as far as forward siege goes, but going to be a monastery for Dobbs. What does the Ethiopian monastery even look like? It's not great. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Probably, this isn't for monks though, right? I mean, it is for monks, obviously, but he probably just wants a few relics. There's no reason to actually go heavy into monks as the Ethiopians here. You don't really want them against the crossbow, and you don't get redemption for the siege. Alright, so finally, Dobbs has cleared up all of the towers. He can finally invest into a second TC. It's not the prettiest hideout TC I've ever seen, but, you know, you make do with what you've got. But Dinchester's already on 2 TCs behind. He is still 6 villagers ahead. Still harassing around the back with these crossbows as well. Microing against the Scorpion. Very nice. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, especially with the repair villagers behind. Is this worth it? Is it worth even looking at this for this long? I think probably no, right? Yeah. Alright, crossbows go down. Lots of random units standing around here. Forward archery range is going to go down for Dinchester. He has not made anything out of this siege workshop yet. He's going to go for a 3rd TC behind, as Dobbs also goes for a 3rd TC on the woodline. Okay, so I guess we're going to get a boom after all. Both players just going to go 3 TC after all of that. Dinchester is about 10 villagers ahead. Malay would have been 4 villagers ahead anyway, though, right? So, still probably worth it. No bowsaw yet, which would be a nice upgrade to get for sure, but Dinchester wants a castle. Mangonel. Oh no. Oh no, that was a disaster. The Mangonel pops out, domes his own crossbow, and now it's going to go down to this one scout. Maybe he can get a shot away on this one. It's, well, alright, that was okay. That's fine. Wheelbarrow comes in for Dobbs. Crossbow. Could find immense value here against this monk. Gonna chase him back, at least. While the Scorpion man, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting in this game for Dobbs. This Scorpion has been all over the place. Alright, and we're just chilling out. Tower rush into both players 3 TC booming. You don't see it very often. But here we are. Dinchester is housed ever so briefly. KD is not pretty for Dinchester. It's got to be said. 3 to 15 is kind of a really bad KD. Neither player has lost a single villager. So it was almost all just like idle and reaction damage that Dinchester did here. He actually did very little actual killing in that whole push. But he's over 1,000 resources collected ahead. He's prepping more archery ranges in the back. I don't know. Was it enough? He's only 5 villagers ahead now. Gearing up for, I assume, Arbalest. But against the Ethiopians, that doesn't feel good. This monk really wants a relic, and this one crossbow is not making it easy for him. How's the scouting look for our players here? Dobbs has actually quite good scouting, but he only... Well, I guess he sees 2 relics. He's hoping there's one more relic back here, but there's not. Actually, where are the relics? Dinchester has... Oh, he's got all of them coming in. All right. So it's going to be 3 relics for Dinchester at least. He can maybe come out here for this one as well. And Imperial Age clicked by both players at almost the same time. Malay, of course, will be up quite a bit faster, though. 4th TC from Dinchester. I'm kind of surprised. He's going to come forward for a castle drop. There is a Mangonel right here, though. So he has to take a good fight with this Mangonel. He has to. He has to kill this Mangonel right now. He's got to kill it. It doesn't matter what he loses here. This Mangonel has to die. And it does. All right, so the Mangonel goes down. He can come forward with the castle drop. Dobbs went for a castle in the back. Ooh, that might come back to bite him. He wants to keep control over this gold, which I understand, but imagine if he had a castle at the front instead. Would have made this a lot less spicy for him right now. Crossbow Bodkin on the way for Dobbs. Ballistics on the way for Dinchester. Imperial Age hits for Dinchester. Again, Malay Curse. He's a little bit too fast through the Imperial Age. I guess he can get Bracer at least. Elephants are coming in. They snipe down a Mangonel. Castle completes. Ooh, Dobbs is in not a very pretty position. Mangonels both go down to the castle. Well, I guess one went down to the elephants. But they both go down. Imp hits for Dobbs. He's got a lot of villagers running out the back of his base. Chemistry clicked for both players at the same time, just about. Okay. Second university. Interesting. Why is he making this? He knows he has a university because he was already researching chemistry. He really wants to rush these university techs, I guess. Summering on the way. Ooh, boy. I mean, the composition should be strictly better for the Ethiopians from here on out, but it might be too much, too fast. Dinchester is almost 20 villagers ahead now, off the back of nothing but idle TC time, really. Dinchester actually has killed more villagers, so it's... Oh, no, wait, yeah. I'm reading this backwards. So, some villagers went down in this kerfuffle, but it's a lot of idle TC time. Crossbows go down for Dinchester against the Ethiopian crossbows. It's such a bad fight. Bombard cannons coming out for Dinchester. Theoretically, Ethiopians have better bombard cannons, but obviously no... I mean, there's no bombard cannons yet for Dobbs, let alone Corsian engines. Trebor. Conscription on the way. Skirmishers. Elite Skirm on the way for Dinchester. He does not have a single armor for those guys, but it's okay. Krebs surviving as Dinchester is repairing behind this. Bombard cannon sniped down by the crossbows, though. Still no Trebs have fallen for Dobbs. First armor coming in for Dobbs. Dinchester is soaking a lot of stone into this castle. Scorpions are going down. The Ethiopian crossbows kind of going ham against everything here. Okay, finally a Treb falls for Dobbs, but he's got his own bombard cannons out. Dobbs has great mangonel micro. Let's see bombard cannons. He snipes one. Castle snipes back, though. Got a little too close. Oh, God. I actually don't know. Dinchester blows 500 gold on buying stone just to repair this castle. Skirmishers are out. They've got all the attack upgrades. They'll do okay against the crossbows here. No armor, though, so they die pretty quick against the crossbows, too. And, okay, another Treb goes down. The castle is still up. Dinchester has to buy 200 more stone. He's spent 800 gold on stone for repairs so far. Still making it work, kind of. He's going to have to buy more, though. That's a lot of resources, man. I don't know. Another bombard cannon sniped down by the Ethiopian crossbows. Dinchester really needs to kill this trebuchet, man. There's more trebuchets coming out. But they're not out yet. Dinchester's out of stone. His army is getting obliterated by the Ethiopian ranged units. Second armor comes in, which is a big deal, but final armor on the way. Dinchester buys 200 more stone. He's up over 1,000 gold spent just repairing this castle. He's expanding onto stone on the outsides. That's probably a good idea. Oh boy. Dinchester's pop capped at 150. Dobbs is struggling to get above 120. Eventually this is going to become a bad fight for Dobbs as well against the skirmishers. Karambit's running in. There's not enough of them yet. There's for sure not enough of them yet. But the fight's going okay over here. I think this castle goes down. It does. Dinchester, after so much gold spent on that castle, it falls anyway. He's now giga housed. He has to blitz up a couple of houses in the back. He's gonna lose. Okay, somehow did not. Oh, the skirmisher ate that shot. Okay, the trebuchet. No dodging whatsoever. Ah, it goes down. But the skirmishers are winning the fight. Dobbs doesn't have the second or the third archer armor, so his skirmishers are worth right now. Oh, Dobbs is trying to go for a TC out here. Does he not even know there are walls here? Oh boy. Oh god. So his villagers, who knows where those villagers are coming from, but they're gonna have to take the full trip around the map to get there. And Chester says, alright, I'll drop another one, I guess. Did he buy this one too? I guess he's been mining stone, but he didn't have to buy all of it. But the Trebs are still here. The skirmishers are becoming overwhelming for Dinchester, though. Dobbs just can't keep his population up. How many archery ranges are there here? 2? Oh, 3. And a 4th one now. Okay. Oh, it says 5. Okay, that's fine. Oh, there's one here. All right. So the production shouldn't be that bad for Dobbs. I mean, his eco is really squished in the back here. So it's not the best. We've also got a tower war on the middle wood progressing here. Also, maybe my hottest take of this patch. I think Malay have the worst castle. I'm just going to throw it out there. It looks really weird to me. It looks very strange to me. Bills going down. You gotta scout this, Dobbs. I think he keeps clicking villagers down here, and they just path directly into the castles. So, massive Town Watch difference. The GG is called. And the reverse sweep by Wean Dinchester is pulled off. Crazy. Great set, actually. Skirmishers. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Skirmishers are the best unit in the game. Dinchester. He was struggling while he was making those crossbows. He just needed to switch into skirmishers and I won him the game. Won him the set. Simply go skirmishers.